Hi, I'm Sasha Moore, and I'm so happy to be here today with Cullen Haynes, who is the Director of Legal Home Loans. So great to see you, Cullen.
Great to see you as well, Sasha, and hello to everyone watching or re-watching and tuning in.
Thank you so much. And you're a man of the town. You're always out and about and hustling, and today is no exclusion. So one of the things that I've always really loved about Cullen and the legal home loans proposition is you're so specific about your market. So Cullen really hones in, as you would expect, with the legal sector. And, case in point, you're at the Law Society function today at the Hyatt. Yep.
Here we go.
Yep, love it. So thank you for carving out some time from the conference to have a chat with us. So I've known Cullen for quite some time, and I'd seen him on LinkedIn, and I've always been, who is this chap in his three-piece suit and his pocket watch? Like, he just has such a distinctive aura and style, but it's not just his clothing, it's his confidence. And then we just met up for a coffee, and I'm like, I love him and I love how real he is. But in part of that is how much he really was comfortable in his skin, and not only comfortable in his skin, but owned his space. So Cullen, what I'd really love to speak to you about on that note, or that theme of authenticity in the lead up to the Power of Authenticity webinar on Friday, is really how you own your individual self, how you own and embrace your authenticity, but how you do that, particularly in the legal sector, which is so traditional by comparison. So I'm keen to understand how you use authenticity as a strength professionally.
Absolutely, Sasha. And first, I want to say, don't hold a candle to you. It was great first catching up with you, and you're a light in what you do. And I think everyone should listen to Sasha's gems that you dispense, because they are aplenty. So thank you for everything you do.
Oh, thank you.
That's okay. Well, my journey on not only on LinkedIn when we started our business, but legal home loans was probably earlier on. I actually am not from Sydney, so I didn't go to a blue-blooded school. I'm from Albury-Wodonga. So when I moved to Sydney, I was very shocked at, like, you had to go know these people, you had to go to this school and all that kind of thing. So I was quite untraditional to the way I eventually got into broking. So I first studied radiography. I hated that. So I can see right through people. With x-rays. I then went into hospitality. So I learned, I was guest experience manager. I worked with, VIP people like Oprah, John Cleese, Lady Gaga. So high expectation people. Then finished my MBA and went into banking at Macquarie, and then met my business partner, and we founded Legal Home Loans. And the reason why we thought, let's just be ourselves, because everyone else is taken, like Oscar Wilde said, is because no one else had claimed the space for lawyers, right? The banks did it so terribly. So we thought, we can really be ourselves, because we're not competing against anyone. So we thought, I do like to dress up. I do like to wear three pieces, and I like the soft touch of networking, coffees and things like that. So I thought, how about I combine all those things with what I also like is technology and social media, and use it not as a way to get business first, but to shout people out and build them up. And that's where the Legends of Law, post came from, and introducing everyone I meet to three people. And very soon, just by doing those things, you put that karma out in the universe. You're known for someone who's a giver. You're known for someone who's a bit different. People just start to remember you. So, being at the Law Society event today, it's nice that people just come up and go, "Oh, Cullen, I haven't got a loan from you, but I've seen you many times. Let's have a chat," and things like that. So I think people just need to not copy others. They need to embrace who they are and embrace those quirks about yourself, because they do become, as you said, telltale signs. Like, people do know me for the pocket watch, and they ask me what the
I love
time
the
is.
pocket watch. I remember seeing you with the pocket watch going, you're actually my hero. I want to wear a pocket watch the whole time.
Well, you know what, and people may, I get comments. People think I come from the 1950s or Mad Men or Peaky Blinders was the recent one today. But I always think dressing up as like a suit of armor. you can get through. I feel like I act different if I wear this, and it sets me apart, because whereas people are wearing hoodies and jumpers and being really super casual, we're matching our clientele, and you take pride in your appearance, and people know you for that, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that you have also touched on something really, really important about authenticity, which is intent. So
Yes.
your intention really shines through, and your lack of transaction, people can
Yes.
sniff that, right?
Oh
So you
my
can
goodness.
you can tell when someone is just getting in contact because they want something from you
You know
versus
it. I even when on the LinkedIn, when they say, how are you? We've talked about it before, the pitch slap, it's coming. You're going to get hit
is
with
the
this big fit attack.
best expression ever. And I think that, also owning part of your authenticity is coming from a place of relationships. So without the expectation of sales. And I think that strategy as well really falls into one of my favorite questions, which is what I always ask if I'm ever speaking to people about marketing, which is, and I know what your response is going to be, is it more important, in your opinion, to be known by everyone or to know everyone in the room?
Oh, I talk about this. I'm coming out with a book on LinkedIn, The Laws of LinkedIn, and I say it's not who you know, it's who knows you. Because
Precisely.
we've all been to a barbecue where Bob comes up to you and they say, "Oh, Cullen, I just refinanced my mortgage," and it's like, "Bob, I'm a mortgage broker," and it's like, it's not Bob's fault that he didn't come to you. It's your fault that you didn't put yourself out there so that when people think of your services, they know to come to you. And that's the big trap that people fall into. It's the tall poppy syndrome. You want to be at the top of the feed, front of mind, so when people at least think of your services, you are the top consideration. That's the whole point.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I really appreciate your insights, Cullen, and a few takeaways. Owning your authenticity has to be one and the same. You can't have your professional persona and your personal persona be fundamentally different. So if you can really work out a sphere, work out a place, and work out a way that you can embrace who you are, but equally do it in a way that you can be very niche and very specific about who your market is, and then fuse those two together, coming from a relationship-based approach founded with really sound intent, that's a winning formula.
100%. And if you go off the Pareto principle of, so say you put 5 pieces of content out in a week, 4 of them should be educational or personal, and then only 1 of them should be a call to action. So 80-20. People get themselves into the trap. They put out all this sales stuff, but they don't show the real person. So I did a law live because I have my podcast with Adrian Corbold, who's a wills and estates lawyer, great wills and estates lawyer in Newcastle. And he says, Cullen, you could put out 10 posts on LMI, the rates, it'll all go over my head. But I know for a fact that you've put out stuff about your sons, your gym sessions, your runs, you love books. I'm endeared by those things that you post rather than the business stuff. And I refer you because of those things, because you're genuine. So whether you are an ice hockey player or you do ballet or you love to spend time with your kids, I challenge you to flip the narrative of LinkedIn is LinkedIn, Facebook's Facebook. Business is personal. People want to do business with you and they want to know who you are. And when you put yourself out there and you put, a leadership stance on there, people will come up to you or they'll message you and go, "Oh, I didn't know you were a runner. Let's go out for a run, or let's grab a coffee." Honestly, you trying to put a public face and then your personal face does not work, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you do it spectacularly. And again, thank you so much for that, Cullen. I always love speaking with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your conference. I won't take any more of your
No,
time.
it's okay.
And you go kill those lawyers.
We'll do.
In the
We'll
best
do.
possible way.
In the best possible way. Absolutely. We'll make sure there's no casualties.
Yeah, exactly. All right, hun.
Thanks,
Thanks
Sasha.
again. We'll see you on the 18th.